jump off my mind's cliff into subconscious depths, knowing my higher and knowing my lower self, falling past my thoughts that got me in trouble. Realizing ego is a burstable bubble. Falling backwards seems like there's no end or bottom. Cut out the good, I see no thoughts of rotten. No modern European's mentality, all Asiatic. The scent of this fall, aromatic. Tea tree oil and frankincense so intense. Demons beaten from outside make no indents. Plus no entrance without the mastermind key. Thoughts of Allah wasn't a lie, but actually me, divine being, a national, actual, factual, more a scientist, seeing things mathematical. Law is length, angle, and width. With mind strength, mangle a sith. When devil's horns burning, sulfur a whiff. Lower self, third eyes crushed, that's the weed in my split. From these lows, the only way to uplift. 40 days and 40 nights working the graveyard shift. Battling zombies, which are my own that exist. Playing my emotions as string strum or Congo drums. Seeing things and hearing sounds, no fear around. Looking down, not seeing the ground, but feeling my crown. Pulsating so profound, soul unbound. Inhale for 7, hold for 4. Exhale for 7, hold for 4. Double door 11, walk through the gateway frame of eternal flames. No burns, no regard, unreal as unreal, no blame. My pure freedom and bliss, demigods trying to contain. On my journey of learning fear, embracing pain. Since love heals on the path of living cognizance, patience is a virtue. I'd rather take the long distance. Aware mental clearness, mind's tailless with fierceness. Harlot seduced to get me locks and beardless. Electromagnetic helix, induce the voltage. Begging ancestors to increase the dosage. Produce a strong field, rubbing together shaman stone balls, releasing the stress. Calling on Orishas, decreasing my breath. But are you really breathing? Knowing or believing? I master fruition and receiving from birthright retrieving. Are you in trance without doing a ritual dance? Paralysis, magic, reversal on the square stance. Harmonic lyrical mudra from Islam Sutra. Elevate thoughts, wake up your inner Sibyls and Buddhas. Master your will, not desires. Awaken Kundalini fires. True spoken to MCs higher. Medusa, you liars. Bagging heads and horns and tails for mystic functions. Ritualistic, perched at the junction where demons go to and fro, dressed as the sheeple, selling them rights, civil and pseudo rights equal. Blood flowing past a horse brow didn't circle your passion. Celestial thread of my ancestors, tailored my fashions. Fooling people with their words and people not watching their actions. Ignorance of law is no excuse when something happens. Feeling odds and reading postures, moving bionic. Monsanto seeds turn you psychopharmaceutical chronic. Got their eyes bloody, blood muddy for blood money. They gave me nothing, so can't take nothing from me. I love the quote, you will respect but don't have to love me. They gave me nothing, so can't take nothing from me. As I jump off my mind's cliff into subconscious depths, knowing my higher and knowing my lower self, falling past my thoughts that got me in trouble. Realizing ego is a burstable bubble. Falling backwards seems like there's no end or bottom. Cut out the good, I see no thoughts rotten. No modern European's mentality, all Asiatic. The scent of this fall, aromatic. Tea tree oil and frankincense so intense. Demons beaten from outside make no indents. Plus no entrance without the mastermind key. Thoughts of Allah wasn't a lie, but actually me, divine being. Treat 'em right. Treat 'em right. Treat 'em right. Treat 'em right. Moors are here to uplift a nation that's fallen. Instead of buying strip clubs, continuing or falling. Most sisters I know got baby daddy drama. Beating on the mother and he's the grand master. No patriarch or pimpin', you're the god of the earth. He calls it a man bag, I call it what it is, a purse. Making claims of strength but can't give birth. Walk into the womb through the doors of the church or temple or tabernacle. They all represent her. The story of the first female popes is a blur, not to mention the women saviors rule from both thrones. His and her throne was her own. As my art holds the scales with no Tahuti. Though he was a sage scribe, he was her worker bee. See the big picture. Tahuti is thought, which represents thought. Divine manifest in mind molds the thought. Get the mind out the gutter like treat 'em right. You gotta treat the mothers right. Get your mind out the gutter like treat 'em right. You gotta treat our brothers right. Get your mind out the gutter like treat 'em right. You gotta treat the mothers right. Get your mind out the gutter like treat 'em right. You gotta treat our brothers right. Mind is man, but women first like we were taught in ancient schools, which were the wombs, even to the tomb, the afterlife womb, born again on another realm or back for more truth about our culture as Moors, more by root. See how far they spread, how deep the roots true. Get off the emotions, fire water potions, get the shea butter, my sister, not Jergens lotions. Stop justifying BS, blaming racism. Biz Kane and G-Rap already erased racism. Go back to Diplo Underground, Tupac, or X-Clan and Fezzes, leather that you call in a hat. Go back to medallion strings with beads. Golden era, back to question so-called MCs. Pins and smooth operating Asiatic kings. On a gold throne, four-finger tormenting rings. Get your mind out the gutter like treat 'em right. You gotta treat the mothers right. Get your mind out the gutter like treat 'em right. You gotta treat our brothers right. Get your mind out the gutter like treat 'em right. You gotta treat the mothers right. Get your mind out the gutter like treat 'em right. You gotta treat our mothers right. Using verse curses, send out orishas. Return like boomerangs, demons dropping with seizures. Calling for sweet Jesus, here comes Nagas Negas. Black handle hex on those trying to police us. Reverse a spell with white candles. Witches clothed as cashiers. Behind bars, sexual energy exchange for beers. And she's getting tips with help from whispering spirits. 285 hertz beats, hypnotized sound spelled with lyrics. So souped out their mind, can't hear but fear it. When the truth appears, they won't go near it. Songs are like Reiki, blockages they clear it. So focus on point and diligent, freedom above everything. Mind's militant, like wow, moment eureka when I speak to a sleeper. Make a master fruition and stop being believers. Get the mind out the gutter like treat 'em right. You gotta treat the mothers right. Get your mind out the gutter like treat 'em right. You gotta treat our brothers right. Get your mind out the gutter like treat 'em right. You gotta treat the mothers right. Get your mind out the gutter like treat 'em right. You gotta treat our brothers right. Treat 'em right, yeah. No gutter like treat 'em right. Circle 7, y'all. Treat 'em right. Treat 'em right. Treat 'em right. Islam Moors. Peace and love to all the Moors worldwide, wherever you're at, wherever it is that you're at. If you know what's up, peace and love to you. We oh yeah, I know. Iron Sheik goes in. Iron Sheik 7, willofalah.com. Just make sure you show some support. No more daily merchandise. And then we have another more with some t-shirts on the route soon. When those ones drop, ooh, it's gonna be on route soon. You know, gotta follow that no more daily paradigm and make sure that
we're putting that word out. Any way possible, we put that word out. Make sure we're putting that word out. Because our word is the word that needs to be heard. Forget anybody else's words right now, 2019. You should probably be listening to Moore's if you're looking to get more knowledge. And you should be even listen to anybody else right now. Because everybody's playing games with you. We put up last week or whatever, we put up um, Brother Jamal's with his, little commercial or whatever for the Wake Up Call conference that just happened July 12th to the 14th. Um, guest speakers, vendors, day of love, unity with the black guys and the Moors and whoever else that knows that, we are a nation of people and all that stuff. Be the change you want to see and all that. So, we want to give honors to, letting the Moor get on the panel because Moors don't really get opportunity to talk in front of the black guys and the Negroes and the colors and the conscious and the whoever else that, we don't ever get that chance really. So honors to um, all the facilitators and everybody who had something to say to try to help with this liberation effort that we know has to take place with our people. But again, we always have to talk about the elephant in the room nobody wants to talk about. Nobody wants to deal with the fact that we're not Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian. We're not African slaves came over here on a slave ship. We're not people identified by colors or shades or continents or brand names, tags. We have a nationality. Like everybody else in the world, nationality is the order of the day before anything else has to happen. If you want any type of success, nationalities first. Anything else is uncivilized. So I don't want you to think somebody's dissing. This is a analytical approach because we're Moors and we know a Moor who went to the thing. And there's a real big problem. There's a real big problem plaguing our community. And we realize that they have refused to study. They've become the microwave know thyself. You get a paper and you know yourself. You get a card, you know yourself. You buy that guy's book or you know yourself. You support that guy, you donate to that guy or you're gonna know yourself. Watch his video, you know yourself. When this is a lifelong travel. This is not just pop it in and pull it out in 2 minutes and you're God. This is not that. This is about really recognizing that the wake-up call happened in 1913. Wake-up call in 2019. The wake-up call already happened. The wake-up call already happened. And everybody, like Brother C. Freeman said, was waiting for Jesus and they missed Noble Drew Ali. And now here we are, stuck, dealing with this BS. Find me some Chinese people that got to do this. Have a meeting to talk about fix our community. Find me some Hungarians or some whatever nation of people who know that they have a nationality Find me their stuff that they go to that they got to do this. And again, we know as Moors that this is a big game. This is a big popularity contest because it's really not this serious. Just declare nationality tomorrow, keep doing what you're doing, but start exercising like you know yourself for real. Exercise like you really know yourself if we claim that we know ourselves. If we claim that we're woke, if we claim that we're conscious, then how come we're not exercising those things that we claim? We claim woke, but we're some of the sleepiest ass people. We're claiming woke, but we're sleeping. We're claiming conscious, but we're unconscious. We're claiming conscious, but then we're selling a package, or we're selling, you know what I mean, some type of product. And when the product gets to the consumer, customer, or whatever, product's all messed up. It's the wrong size. One size is high, one size is low, or whatever like that. And you just put out 500. And then because it's your brother and sister, you don't want to say nothing because then you look like an asshole because, you know, you're not supporting your brother and sister. Forget all that BS. If you really want a wake-up call, let's find out really where we really should be going from actually who was actually at the table. So you can't say that it's some type of whatever, because pre him being even there was little BS because of him being a Moor. That's the only reason that there would be any type of issue. The fact that he went up there with that fez on, the fact that he went up there and made sure that any reference to him is he's more. You know, call me anything else but that if you're gonna say me. I'm seeing people up here giving black passes, clapping for black stuff. Why are you clapping for black stuff? When you know that we're not that. You're clapping for black stuff? Well, to appease what? To appease them so they can go to your table to go buy something? Because you already know how it goes with these people and Moors. They don't respect this. Only Moors respect this. So due to people's disrespect of this, we are respecting your BS because we were told in 1913 we're not Negro, black, colored. We were told give up that European crap. It's not your stuff. European stuff's not yours. That's stuff that you taught them that they altered to suit their position.
Yeah.
So it's not some the Moors are going at the no. Everybody up there except the Moor needs supreme correcting if they're claiming that they're representing me. I'll kick all these people off the table and have Jamal's represent me because I know he knows what he's talking about. I know he knows what he's talking about. I'm not going to have to wonder what the hell are they talking about when he says something. Because why? He's going to show documented proof to back up what he's saying. He's not just talking off of his mind or because he has an idea or opinion. Right? Which is where these things go. Which is why we already know, like we said, Moors already know what's up. We're trying to reach our people who don't know what's up. But only those ones who want this. We're not begging people to be Moors. We already know we can go and get our taxes off or have our property or, you know, beat a case or whatever. We already know what's up. We're not even thinking about what negative things might happen while we're doing that because we already know what we got. And Chinese not being Chinese because, oh, there's triads killing people, so we're not going to be part of that nation. We're going to be something else because those guys make us look bad. Shut the hell up. And again, this placation, where people want to placate. People want to say things because it's cool because the Moors are there. When the Moors aren't there, they're not talking how they talk when the Moors are there, which is a problem. Serious problem. If when the Moors are around, you know who Noble Drew Ali is. But if we put the camera on you by your own, you're not going to mention Noble Drew Ali. That's called placation. And we don't play that BS. Because again, we have a nationality. We're already on. We're straight as Moors. I don't think there's issues. Moors who know what's up, all the Moors who know what's up, everybody could go underground right now. Cut off their social media, cut off their Facebook, cut off their everything, just focus on them and their family, and watch this place go to shit just because of Moors saying forget the BS. We're just gonna focus on ourselves. Forget wake up people, because nobody want to be woke up. Everybody wants to sleep. Everyone wants to be Negro, black, colored Africans, think that some European's going to give them reparations for them to talk shit about the European with the money that they just got from reparations. Why are they the European that dumb? Caveman or whatever. There's no caveman going to pay some Asiatic for his own demise. There's not even the most trailer park trash troglodyte is that dumb to fund their own enslavement. But you ask the Negro though, or they'll fund their own enslavement till Jesus comes back. Don't get enslaved by these people. Again, we already know that there's going to be masses. Go watch the movie Cell. Just go watch the movie Cell. There's going to be masses of people running around the antenna because they want that energy. They don't even know what the world is. All they want to do is just run around this antenna. No matter how tired they are, getting trampled, they're going to get up and still run. Because they've boxed themselves in and they want you boxed in with them. Don't get boxed in. Be a free thinker. Look at what's going on up there. All these people up here are representing some type of organization or whatever. There's only one individual there representing a nation. Think about this. Everybody who's on the stage is representing some type of org. Even though they might say they're a nation, they're not a nation. They're a corpse. They're a representative of a corpse. There's nobody up there other than this Moor that is speaking from a national perspective, which would be the unity that everybody's at the table for. Whenever there's a venue, no matter what type of venue it is, the first issue is status. That's why if you go back to the beginning, everybody got introduced or whatever. All I'm hearing is fictions.
Yep.
And one national. All I'm hearing is fictions. Because don't get it twisted, because certain people say that they're Hebrew Israelite and all that stuff. They're the head of some Hebrew Israelite, that they're not Negro, that they're not certain people's property. Because we already know that they got charges and stuff like that. I know you had your videos and stuff like that, and you're trying to change up your paradigm now. Just like the package seller guy has to change up his paradigm and come with a new face for the dumb masses. We're not those ones. We're not those ones. Just go check all the videos about just Canaanland Moors, Hebrew Israelites, and see how much stuff we did on them to show that that stuff is a fraud. We're dealing with nationhood. we're dealing with a perspective of recognizing that if you don't have a status, you have no say. And no matter what you say, it's notwithstanding. Because the individual expressing has no status. So what's expressed is also stateless. The thought that expressed that is stateless.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm gonna yield the floor because the Moors have a little Q&A that they need to do. But before we do that, I'm gonna play something, and then, you know, we look at things from a metaphysical perspective, you know, and this is all part of what was meant to be, because there was something that was said that Marcus Garvey came through, and the people missed him, you know what I mean, and it distorted what you were saying at this part. Because, you know, Garvey said, "Catch me in the whirlwind" and all that stuff, but people really want to realize what's going on. So Garvey blocked something, but we want you to speak on what the wind pretty much distorted.
So this principle of separation in jurisprudence of civics is called diversity. That's what it's called. Since we as a people are an entire separate nation of people than these Europeans, their laws, customs, rules, religion, and policies don't apply to us. That in law is called diversity. You can get cases dismissed in court because of that. Since we are a separate nation of people, they can't hold us to the same standard as them. When do you see gorillas and elephants in the same community? When do you see ants and termites in the same community? You don't. So in politics, with the principles of nation, and the principle is called diversity. And
All right, so just quickly, Mordom, you could put your appellation on the record and all that, and whatever else you got to plug. But just speaking on, or if you could elaborate on where you were going with the concept of diversity, and when you speak about, because you're a Moor and you're speaking to people that, you know, haven't identified who they are, but you say we. So when you say we,
Yeah.
are you saying we from your perspective or we from their perspective? So
We as in Moors.
yeah, well, one, the thing of diversity, and then two, the we, and then how are you saying that they're Moors if, you know, like how are
All
they
right,
how are they Moors? Yeah.
So if you watch like the full hour video, they were talking about the Nation of Islam always talks about you know, the United States so-called giving them states for separation. So a lot of people were kind of like comprehending the separation part, like we need to be separate from them. So because what I realized is a lot of our people don't understand the politics or the jurisprudence or the science involved in what they're saying. So I was trying to show them that, yes, you can still talk about separating from what you call the white man, who are really Europeans, but know that politically it's called diversity. And based on that separation of, you know, us not being the same nature of people, us having a different bloodline, different laws, different customs, it's written within the Constitution that they can't even be speaking to us on a state level, which now we're talking about where the majority of our problems as a people stems from is the courtroom. So I'm trying to connect to people who don't understand politics with what they can comprehend and try to bring them to the next level. And when I said we, I was including them because everyone there is a Moor. They just don't know it yet. And I know a lot of our people have the illusion of inclusion. When they see something cool and everyone's doing it, they want to be part of it. So I try to make them feel like, you know, we're equals at this table, not I'm here to give you something.
Right. Now,
So
one of
that's the perspective I took it as.
Islam. Another quick question. I know Brother Yusuf has more than that, but when we're talking about the separation, do you think that based on the audience that was at the event, do you think they have separation the concept of separation confused, because it seems like their perspective is us here and the European way down there around the corner, so that means we're separated. But then your perspective more leans toward the status, that because of our status, you don't have jurisdiction, so you're separate from us.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you could
Now, besides the Moors that came with me and some of the Moors that traveled out to the event, I know that they're Moors. The rest of our people they don't understand it. Like, you know, when you watch the video, you'll hear Rizza Islam say, "Give us states." They're mixing the definition of state, which is a group of people bound together by common law, occupying a fixed territory and land. Right. So, as an example, Rhode Island, or a group of Europeans, but the name of the land is not Rhode Island. So they're mixing concepts. You know what I mean? You can't, like, if you watch the movie Thor Ragnarok, when Asgard blew up, the Asiatic said Asgard is a people, not a place. Wherever Asgardians go, that is Asgard. So when you talk about us separating, wherever we are, that's our community. That is our state. That was our group of people bound together by common law, occupying a fixed territory. But I know our people don't know how to make that, or haven't made that distinction in their mind. And I know those people on the panel aren't teaching them that distinction for their minds. So from my entire experience there, our people don't know anything about politics. And my experience on the panel was everyone there was talking from an emotional perspective. And if you watch the video, you'll see them say something emotional, then they all clap, and I'm the only one not clapping. Because that's not real information. You know what I mean? If you're gonna run a business, if you're trying to run a family, if you're trying to run a nation, you can't make decisions based off emotion. Now your logical decisions can be backed by emotions, but you shouldn't be basing your decisions off of emotions. So a lot of our people clapped at the emotional things. And even if you were there, you would see like people were barely talking to me. I had books on the table. Everyone else was like selling shirts and stuff like that. They were more mingling towards the shirt sellers and the custom jewelry sellers, other than the information. Like I had all the books,
right.
And there was no one really around me. So I see like you said, our people don't want to wake up.
Right.
They want to say that they're waking up, but they actually don't. And I felt it from experience. Like when you walk into something, you just feel it. Like you can't really explain it, but you can feel something. That's how my entire experience was. I felt weird. You know what I mean? Like I know I had the information that the people need, but based on the fact that I was surrounded majorly by the Nation of Islam, they have their own agenda.
Right.
And then people think that they're black, so they're on a lower vibration because they don't even know what's going on. So now we're dealing with like literally different statuses of people in the same environment. Mm-hmm. Some people know what the hell's going on. Okay. Other people are just completely lost.
Okay,
and
so
it's really a game.
So when you so just to clear up that what you just said about the statuses, right?
Yeah.
All these different statuses in the same room. At this point, we're not speaking politically or from a law perspective. We're speaking from an emotional, psychological perspective.
Yeah, and knowledge.
Yeah. Their status is the status that they have has them walking away from what's supposed to be
what they want,
what they
need,
what they really need.
Yeah. Even like I had a few people come up to where I had my books. I opened them up.
Let's build on those people, the people who actually did, because
there was like two people.
Yeah, you say that, right? You say that, and it goes back to even when we do events here, when we vend out here. I mean, we go to events, we'll have our stuff, and we're dealing with information. But people want vases and dashikis and whatever. You know what I mean? So it's but then again, if we bring the merchandise and we have it appealing to more science, you're still gonna get two people at the table.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So my experience with that was it was those people who were like from New York and they heard about Moors, but they heard about it from the dirty Moors. This is a group club perspective, not this is your nation.
Right.
So like they came over knowing what a fez is, knowing the word Moor, but they weren't coming with the concept of this is my nation. It was kind of like, what can this group offer me? So when I was speaking to them, you know, as it relates to jurisprudence, politics, and nationhood, they were like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, because that's not what,
you know what I mean?
Their
that's not what other
interaction, their interaction with Moors hasn't been on that level.
Yeah, and you can tell, you know, every time I go to New York, I'm the only one wearing a fez. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've experienced that.
And that's where, like, you know, the so-called National Black Theater was, and Abdullah was going there, and Roz was going there, Taj was going there. And, you know, when the dirty-ass Moors were also going there, so-called debating, they were wearing fezes. So how is it that when you go to these places, no one's wearing a fez? You know what I mean? If you come to so-called Rhode Island, which is really Narragansett territory, you're going to see Moors in fez. You know, one of my old high school friends called me and said, I seen one of your people at the mall. They were wearing that thing on your hat. You know, and she knew to associate it with me. And she even asked them, "Oh, you know Jamal?" They said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's out here.
Right.
I don't feel that in New York. It's just black in New York.
Right. Still just black.
Yeah. So, like I was saying, the people that walked up, they weren't coming to it with, I know what this brother's talking about. They were expecting a group. Come join this club, come join the temple, get your temple card, pay your temple dues, and let's feel good about, you know, doing nothing.
Right. Which to them would equate to church and make them turn away anyways.
Yeah.
And still, because it's abandonment, you can't blame the white man for that. Because you gave it up. Because you were there at the door, like you had the Moor in front of you. And
now let me talk about that. Like, because like I said, I was trying to relate politics to things that they know about.
Right.
Like all these black people always talk about buy back the block, buy back the block. Let's pool our resources and buy. So after the brother that was sitting next to me, Pop Darby, who was running for councilman in Texas, I think, something like that, he talked about buying back the block. So I said, you know, what I'm about to say is not against you. It's just since we are the Aboriginal indigenous people, which they all say we're the Aboriginal black man, blah, 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 blah. So if you know you're Aboriginal and indigenous, why are you buying your stuff back? So I told everyone to look up adverse possession, which, you know, claiming your title to an estate that's abandoned and not paying anything, not paying no taxes, because they also brought up tax liens. So they know law. So again, I brought up adverse possession, and I was expecting people to like, oh, what's that? Let's talk about that more. And it was just, change the topic. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like when I first heard Taj Street Bay speak and Cujo speak, and it would say law things like that, I'm like, oh, that's something we should do. Not, okay, you said it, now let's talk about something else. Because the whole point of this panel was for remedy. But if you look at the table, I'm the only one that brought information to support what I was saying. Everyone else was just water into my emotions. Yeah. And, you know, that was the crowd pleaser, the emotions.
So, like, Brother Yusuf, it's not, boy.
It's wild. Yeah, real quick question. Being on the panel, did you, because I heard you say earlier, you know, how for those people who don't know that we're Moors yet. Now, but being on that panel, those people who kept speaking, you know, black this, black that, did they know that we were Moors?
Yeah, every time they referred to me, they said, my Moorish brother, or the Moor, or, you know, the Moor over there. And even if you listen, if you watch the video, Reza Islam himself, out of his own mouth, said America is part of the Moorish Empire. It was known as Al-Marak. So now you tell me if they know. And if they didn't know before then, Reza Islam just informed them all. So now notice to the agents, notice to the principals. So now they should tell Louis Farrakhan, they should tell all their leaders, the ISPUK people, oh, we just found some information. America's really Morocco. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if they didn't know, they were informed that day. And
No, but
Because that's a major thing that.
yeah.
Go ahead.
No,
I didn't make him say that. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Yeah,
because
the energy, I felt like my energy was kind of, I don't know how to explain it. I really don't know how to explain it. But my energy, my presence there made him say that. There was no reason for him to say, this is Al-Marak at all. You know what I mean?
that's what we're saying.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
So you saying that's a conscious decision based on something that you already knew, and now you knew.
He even tried to throw the little accent on there. I said, "Oh, you been new. You gonna try to say with an accent and all that?" I'm like, "Okay, you been new, playing games."
Yeah. And
But
both him and Ben X have videos saying that we're more. So it's not even like this is shocking new evidence.
Right. So, and that leads me to my next question.
to us.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, to us, it's not shocking new evidence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But for
Right.
for a representative of Nation of Islam to tell the people that this is the Moroccan Empire in 2019, out of their own mouth, like you're saying, this is them saying it. It's not nobody. This is not them quoting the Quran or nothing like that. This is not them quoting S.P. Scott or nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is
and this is how real it is, right? You know how like in your own environment you're more controlling. You can control the narrative, right?
Right.
The Nation of Islam was doing security there. The Nation of Islam hosted the event. The sister that put it together, she's part of the Nation of Islam. So there was no need for him to say that. You know what I mean? It would make sense like if he's a more exactly. If he's a more and you know he goes to the Nation of Islam and there's a bunch of them, you're more compelled to be more reserved or be more tactful when you speak because you're outnumbered. I was outnumbered in that situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As it relates to the mindset and the whole black thing, I'm the only one not with it. So there was really no reason for him to say that. So now, like you said, we have to look at it from a metaphysical perspective. Why did he say that? Why was he compelled to say it? Why did the truth come out of his mouth just because I was there?
And then again, you have to also look at the pattern because remember, it's a template. El Hajj shifted that template.
Yeah.
When he started espousing the gospel. He wasn't playing, you own me. He was his own man. And the same game that they play today, you know, oh, we give honors to, you know, we give honors and we give honors, but he was given honors when he should have said no more honors. Honors for what? Based on those accusations, he's still given honors, which is what gave them jurisdiction. To have them around today playing the same stuff that, remember, he was L. He was going to UN and all that. He wasn't playing ADOS and get reparations or whatever. He was talking about going to the UN for human rights violations. But what do they do today? Oh yeah, we give honors to Malcolm, and his name's not Malcolm. The hell are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
Why you denational? Which is even the thing with the no clapping about the denationalization. They're gonna talk about Moroccan Empire, but they're calling everybody black in there.
Yeah.
How you know this is the Moroccan Empire?
The Moroccan Empire, then you know what Moors.
How you calling people black if you know this is the Moroccan Empire? How you know this is the Moroccan Empire and you don't bring it back just to rep? If you want to rep with the Moor, how about bring the fezzes back when you came to this? How about bring back the NOI, FOI fezzes?
Right.
Since you got the security and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like, how about really be the muftis? Y'all had the black fezzes and all that. We got the pictures, 1934 and all that. Prophet Fard Muhammad. We got the pictures. We know what's up.
Yep.
This is not expose. This is they know that we're Moors. So why are you still playing the black games and stuff? Because they're just saying that. They just said this is the Moroccan Empire.
Out of his own mouth. There's actually a video of, if you just look up YouTube search, Reza Islam, Black, Moor, Asiatic, he'll say something along the lines, us as black people, we're not black in the sense that we're black. The original term is Moor or Moorish or Asiatic. That's what he says. And then he also says, if you call yourself black, that puts you in a color of law status, which then gives the Europeans jurisdiction over you. That's what he says in the video, his own video. Not someone secretly recording him. No, he was holding the video, holding the camera as a selfie, saying.
But then coming out here and telling you that you're black though. While they know in the background.
And knowing it puts you in a death status because he said it.
Right? And which is where it gets into the people now, because they have expectations of these people to save them.
Yeah.
If the expectation is to save, then why not just save? Why are you playing the games about talking about Moroccan Empire because the Moors there, and then, you know what I mean? Then doing your little class and saying that, you know who the Moors are and all this stuff, but then you call people black. Like, why the games? Who's paying you people to keep playing the game? Because nothing else makes sense to me. How you're gonna know that this is the Moroccan Empire, and you're gonna talk about Al Kebalan and all this stuff was part of the Moroccan Empire, and people not realizing that these people know what's up. They're letting you know it's time now. Wake up. To stop listening to them.
Yeah.
Priesthood is dead. We just put up the video with the lady pushing the priest off the stage or whatever. Cripple him. Because the priesthood is dead.
Onto that part?
Islam, more.
A lot of our problems, or our people's problem, is we're not competent enough to even, grade or hold the person speaking in front of us to a certain level. So we can't even figure out if we're getting played or not because of our own ignorance. I was telling some of the Moors with me, like, in that situation, this is where the people, the ones in the crowd, have all the power. They were supposed to say, you get off that stage because you don't know what you're talking about, or you're incompetent, or what you're saying is treasonous. Right. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be the people on the stage are your so-called savior. It's you're the savior, and you're trying to tell us what we should be doing.
Exactly.
Or us reflecting our thoughts on how we should move as a people to the people, and then the people deciding on what we're doing and what we're not doing. Not, I have this group, come be part of it, pay X amount of money a month, and then I can do something with that money now, which ain't even real money.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
That's the other one. Yep.
Because there was a lot of building on that. Like, and I seen you just sitting there, and I'm like, I know he knows. Because all right, there's another part in the video where the guy he starts speaking about the internet being the new money, and I'm like, my question is like, I looked at right. Currency was going to be the internet, and I'm like, these guys have no idea. They just can't even. I'm like, why not just get right? Y'all won't even accept what the regular truth is, what the definitions mean, and y'all ready to switch what the word means. It's going to be the new. And I'm like, see, that's how y'all accept the black concept. And like, okay, what we mean black means.
On that part, you'll see I was trying to interject something. I was going to bring up House Resolution 54. Right. And I kept raising my hand because that's how we were doing it before. But then you'll see, like, they started emotionally grabbing the mic. So I'm like, I'm not about to stoop down to this level of ego grabbing the mic, trying to be heard. And after a certain amount of time, you can only hold a train of thought for so long. And these people were just talking and talking and talking. So I eventually did bring up House Resolution 54-4, bringing up the fact that the USD is up.
But they ain't going in depth.
Power. Yeah, but I wasn't able to go into depth with it. Like, explaining how our energy gives it value. It's not. It has its own value. So if you're talking about the so-called black dollar, you have to understand that concept of money, fiat, and what currency is. Because currency isn't money. It's your energy in motion. It's the gold and silver coins and the fiat represents your energy. And when you're moving it, that is currency. And when you're exchanging it, that is currency, not the internet is currency. The internet is not currency. But if
I'm glad you can explain that.
That would have been a problem.
And just to
interject, a lot of ignorance.
Just to interject, and the internet is not currency, even though current is used to make it work.
Yeah.
It still can't be currency.
Say it again?
It still can't be currency.
Yeah.
Right? Even though it's tied to current directly. You know?
It doesn't stand on its own.
Right. Yeah, brother Yusuf, you had any other questions? Because I know you had some stats.
I don't know if you want to go the timestamps. Oh yeah, I got a couple more questions. Like for instance, like in the crowd, was there specific people after the show, before the show, that came up to you that wanted to know more information? Because it doesn't look like any questions got answered.
No, there were no questions answered, and there was no real remedy. There was about one or two people from the crowd who I didn't know, that they said they see my videos and they wanted to talk to me about a few things, but it wasn't like, where do I learn more? Where do I do it? It wasn't that. It wasn't people trying to learn anything. It was more like, oh, can I take a picture? Blah, blah, blah. Stuff that I'm not there for, you know what I mean?
Right.
So you got more.
That goes back with pictures with the panelists, because they said everyone on the panel come over here, and I wasn't there for pictures. I wasn't there for me. I was there walking around with my documents from the Library of Congress to try to show our people this is the truth, and no one wanted it.
That's what I was gonna.
And no one to play with me.
That's what I was gonna tell you. After Brother Yusuf's point, to put out some of the things that you had there that people lost the opportunity to hear or read or whatever.
Yeah,
because that was actually my next question. Yeah, because the way I'm looking at it was like, did you feel pressured to hold back certain information because the way the panel was, with your surroundings?
I wouldn't say I felt pressured.
Okay.
But what I will say is I know I'm outnumbered, and I know I have to be tactful, because it doesn't matter what I say, they're louder than me. They're more emotional than I am. So it's going to work on that crowd. So instead of me wasting time arguing, I'm going to say what I'm going to say. You're going to get the information. It's going to be recorded live, so more people are going to see it. So instead of wasting my time like that, I'm playing for the long term. So I said some important shit, some good Morse knowledge, but I wasn't about to argue with these people who I know they know we're not black. So, you know what I mean? There was no point of saying every 2 seconds, we're not black, we're not black. You know what I mean? I'll let them do that.
I felt like even you saying that, did you feel as if they were, like egging you on? Because I've never seen them say, it was like after every 3 words, they said black. Every 3 words, black. I'm like, dang.
They were, I know for a fact, I'm not going to say his name or her name. I know for a fact someone was expecting me to be confrontational with them there. They wanted.
Like from the
like when you walk by people, you have your peripherals going, and you can see that they're staring at you, making a face. Yeah.
And then that's from the whole more versus whatever perspective they got.
Yeah, but I'm not versus nothing. It's more. We're more, period.
Right.
Ain't no versus.
That's not a verse. Is this regular?
Right.
Yeah, it'll be more versus more, if anything.
Right. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
So so the documents I brought were most of the documents I brought. Everything had a seal on it. I didn't bring anything that wasn't certified. I brought the cases that we got dismissed. One was like second degree assault, first degree assault, second, you know how they do it. I basically brought 2 felony charges to prove that what this stuff works in real time. And then I brought documents from the Library of Congress. One document they like to bring up is I'm going to try to say this slow because I know I talk fast. The proceedings and debates of the 90th Congress, first session, volume 113, part 12, June 12, 1967, stating that the 14th Amendment is unconstitutional. Now, the reason why that's important is because we were taught that the 14th Amendment became constitutional in 1868, which reversed the Dred Scott decision in 1865, if I'm not mistaken, stating that blacks weren't citizens. So they lied to us that the 14th Amendment made us citizens, and the 15th Amendment gave us rights to vote. Rights to vote. All that's a lie, right? So that's certified from the Library of Congress, which shows you that one, we as a people shouldn't be paying taxes to the United States. And 2, it doesn't only apply to so-called blacks, it applies to so-called Hispanics and Latinos as well, who come here to the North Gate, seeking a better life, and then they get naturalized through the 14th Amendment, and then they got to jump through those hoops to become so-called citizens when they're already American citizens. And I also brought up on the panel that it also affects us in court dealing with personam jurisdiction, and these people shouldn't even be speaking to us. So when it comes to remedy, Reza Islam calls themselves Mr. Facts or whatever, but law supersedes issues of fact. So I'm bringing you the law that we can use to address the facts, to actually provide remedy for our people. Because the remedy doesn't lie within the facts. It's the issues of law, which is the standing that, the foundation upon which facts are built. So that document I brought with me, and only like one person actually looked at it. Actually, when I was walking in the streets of New York, getting vegan food, some brothers seen the feds and asked me to teach them some stuff, and they're the only ones that actually wanted to see stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I also brought
nothing to do with the event.
Yeah, nothing to do with the event. I also brought House Resolution 5404, which was also introduced to the floor of Congress, the de facto Congress, this year, January 3rd, 2019, with a different code. But House Resolution 5404 talks about how the USD lost 96% of its purchasing power, how it's basically worthless, and stuff like that, and how they caused the Great Depression in 1913. I also had the crowd. I don't have the documents yet, but I requested that from the Library of Congress Duplication Services, the House Resolution 25, Fair Tax Act of 2019, where the Inquisitionists called Congress admitted that the federal income tax and the IRS is destroying families, impeding upward social mobility of our people, and tax so-called U.S. citizens multiple times unnecessarily. I brought this information to show people this is what's tripping us up. Because a lot of them were saying, the system makes you dependent on them, but they're not explaining how. This is how. You know what I mean? So I was trying to balance out their scales of truth and falsehood and just combat it with, they said a piece of truth. Okay, here's the other piece that you need. And then I had, the treaty certified from the Library of Congress, different court cases stating that paper is not money, which will help with traffic tickets, speeding tickets, parking tickets, so-called credit card debt, mortgages, so-called foreclosures, student loans, so-called rent, eviction, all of that stuff. All the remedies tied to that.
Mm-hmm.
What else did I bring? The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo stating that Mexico, Mexicans have rights here in North America, because basically all of the West Coast used to be Mexico, which they're Moors too.
Now, real quick, interjection, real quick for that, because there was somebody on the podium who was yelling.
Was talking trash about Mexicans.
There you go, exactly. Yeah. Saying Mexicans hate us, and I'm like,
let me add on to that, because in the beginning they said, blacks and Afro-Latino, we're all so-called blacks. So they're really saying we're all Moors. So it's weird how they pulled all of us together, because we are all Moors, But then from the black perspective, they say we're different. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really comprehending why the prophet said love instead of hate. Like, all of that is based on hatred. Literally. And it doesn't matter if he recognizes it or not. Those who know can tell. There's no reason for you to say something about a Mexican, and you're using the word Mexican, trying to use it connotatively as if you can actually do that. Like, those Mexicans are doing this. What are you talking about? They're home.
Right.
I mean, so
yep. Doing that twist work.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like, our people get jealous because, you know, there's a little Italy, there's a little this, what are we jealous for? Why don't we just do it? You know,
right.
Where I'm at, so-called Rhode Island, is heavily colonized here. The Portuguese are out here like crazy. The Italians are out here like crazy. And you'll see their you know, Portuguese community center, the Italian community center. Those things exist. So instead of being mad about it, why not just establish it? You know, and these people have thousands of people on Instagram. They can do that if they wanted to. But it's easier to relate to people on that level of complaining and, you know, yeah, we're going through this together, so let's complain together. You know, there's this thing I learned in the military. I'm pretty sure you heard me say it before. Misery breeds brotherhood. You know, and then when you relate that to the chapter on misery in the Holy Quran prepared by the Prophet, Drew Ali, it's human nature to just be stuck in your misery, stuck in your lower self, and that's what that breeds when these panelists speak to our people on an emotional level. You're never raising them any degrees higher.
Now, let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. Somebody's asking, so if you're stating laws don't apply, then how come you're using laws as a reference? And the other thing was the dismissed cases. If you have citations or whatever for dismissed cases, or the website where it could be referenced.
Oh yeah, if you just go to my website, riseofthemoors.org, if you click on public information, you'll see the things we sent to the so-called courts, and then the dismissals that they put together.
Why would you make that public? Because I assume that's public record, because it's on your website. Anybody could go there and look it up. Why would you make that public record if that's your personal stuff? Like, what? You know.
Well, it was actually me helping other Moors. All I did was block out like their personal information, but our people need to see that it works. You know, because there's a lot of dirty Moors out there, even Moors that used to be part of my temple. Now they're saying this stuff is going to get you sent to Guantanamo Bay, even though in private they're meeting me at the law library asking, you know, these grown-ass men asking me, a younger person, what they should do with their wife and their family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they do stuff in private, but then they talk trash in public. So I'm there to show you, it don't matter what these people say, here's the truth.
Right.
And here it is for free, because I'm not trying to get nothing out of you for it. This is your birthright just like it's mine. Just like, that's how Tashreeq Bey told me, so that's how I'm teaching the people. It's my birthright and it's your birthright. I'm not in charge of it. I just know what my rights are, so I'm trying to help you figure out what your rights are. Which is the same rights.
Right.
Yeah. So the information is for free, so Moors can show other Moors, look, this works. And it's effective on a small scale of Moors. Now imagine how effective it will be with more Moors involved and participating actively, not just saying I'm a Moor and then staying home and only wearing your fez when you go to the temple.
Right.
Right. Because there's Moors in the car with me right now that'll tell you, yeah, Europeans stare at me and they know what it is. Yeah. You know, it's the energy, literally.
Oh yeah, you're also.
I got into an Uber. Let me
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
When the Moor from China came through, I got into an Uber with this guy from Gambia, and I was dressed up just like I was dressed up on the video, with my pantaloons, my Moorish, I called them Aladdin 11s, my fez on. And he seen the fez, and he was like, "Oh, you're Moroccan." I was like, "Yeah." And then we started talking and stuff like that. And then I said, "You know, our people ain't black," and he was like, "Exactly." And I'm not African, you know. I'm from Gambia. I got my own national flag and stuff like that. And like, it was just comfortable and it felt good to speak to someone who knows. You know what I mean? Like, of a different nationality who's really Moorish. And he was basically saying, you know, it's crazy out here. You know, over in Gambia, you can buy a house and it's yours. You don't gotta pay nothing. Once you buy it and build a house, it's yours forever. And we were just talking about how it was crazy here. And then when I got out the car, I said, you know, maybe one day our people will stop being black. And he laughed his ass off. Because they know what it is. You know? He said, you know, I'm from Gambia. What about that says Africa? Gambia. You know what I mean? Right. Because he was saying, he was commenting on how people pull everyone into this, I'm African, I'm African, I'm African. You don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And you said something about, someone else said, why do I bring up laws that certain laws don't apply to us?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
That was probably a troll comment, but just speak on you know, like when Moors always use law as a reference, you know. So just speak from how you use law. Like, what's the purpose of using law? Why not use, you know, witchcraft, or why not use, you know, a lawyer, or why not use whatever, you know what I mean? Like, why law?
Well, when I just heard you say why not use a lawyer, I automatically thought of another man speaking for me. Yeah. And as a man, no other man can speak for me. Right? And then when we honestly analyze our people, most of our problems, if you look at the hub of where our problems lead to, it's the courtroom. So why not use law in a so-called courtroom? You know, everything that we do pertains to law. Like, I'm literally standing outside Stop and Shop with some Moors. When we go in there, we go to the register and we buy some stuff, you're dealing with law. You're dealing with politics. When you go to the corner store, the bodega, and you get a pastelito, you're dealing with politics. When you pay taxes, you're dealing with politics. When you go to work and you sign that W-4, you're dealing with politics. You know, parking tickets results in a courtroom. Unpaid mortgage results in a courtroom. Are people being charged with victimless crimes? That happens in the courtroom. You know, even when you're dealing with a policy enforcer killing a so-called unarmed black man, that issue gets litigated in the courtroom. So why not learn law when, if you honestly, even when we're talking about reparations, you're talking about law. You have to prove that your nation was destroyed by another nation and that they're obligated to compensate your nation. Yeah, so why, you know, why not deal with law? It just doesn't make sense not to. And it works. So I mean, why not do what works? If you don't believe me, riseofthemoors.org, public information, and see the cases dismissed for yourself. And if you don't even believe that website, look up the case number, go on the court's website for yourself, and then look it up. And if you don't want to do that, go down to the courthouse where the case was dismissed and ask the clerk for yourself for a certified copy.
Yes, Lord.
Quick question, about the wake up panel or whatnot. Because I know you with the Moors right now too, about to go into the store. So like, it's I know you really can't speak for all the Moors, but who you travel with? But like, how was the energy on the ride back? Like, how do you guys see the conclusion of everything that went on at the end there?
So I have to talk about.
Oh, hold on.
In order to answer that, I have to talk about me being on the panel in the first place.
That's what I was just gonna say. That's what I was just gonna say. You have to go to.
Honestly, this is how it happened. I seen the flyer. I was like, what are these people going to be talking about? Right? And then I was thinking, I wonder if I can get on this panel. So I ended up like emailing the person that coordinated it, and I posted it on Instagram, and I said, Moors, help put me on this panel. And then there was a brother, he's an old school rapper, his name is Granddaddy IU. He knew the coordinator, and I guess he spoke highly of me and then she put me on the panel, and that's literally how it happened. Literally. And
and just for the
see if I can put myself on a panel.
Hey, and just for the record, Islam to the Godfather, Islam to one of the legends, Granddaddy Ayub. Because if you go check Casanova Bay's page, you'll see the little interview that we did with him when Polite was playing people and Polite played him.
Yep, I remember that. I remember that one.
And he exposed. Remember, this is a hip hop legend. Hip hop legend exposed Polite for being the fraud. Took $7 grand from him or whatever. Right? So know that that's a more that sister knows that link, that thing for you to be on there. That wasn't some black guy rapper guy.
His free national name.
Yeah.
He has a free national name. Yeah. Yeah, so that's how I got on the panel.
Yeah, that's all crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. He was doing that. I literally did nothing.
That's crazy.
All I did was say, Morris, get me on this panel. You know, because I'm personally tired of seeing other Moors saying, well, how come he didn't say this? Well, how come she didn't talk about that? Well, how come you don't go there and you set the record straight? So instead of me, you know, putting my mission on other people, I decided to put myself on the table, at the table, bring the information, and then set the record straight myself. And, you know, other people, you know, you'll see comments on the stuff saying, you know, if I was there, I would have said this, this, and this, and probably got silent and escorted out of the venue. Well, you see me sitting up there say we're Moors, and not happened to me, so what are you talking about? So now you're defeating yourself in your own mind, and you're not even showing up. And you're talking trash about
Say that again. Hold on, too fast, too fast.
If they're a sellout, they're still there doing something.
Too fast, too
While you
fast.
at home,
Too fast, too fast.
Oh, my
Too
bad,
fast, too fast. Go say that again. Say that again. That went over. Say that again. Say that again. That went over. That went over. Say that again.
Oh man. So Moors or people in general put their mission on other people. Well, how come he's not saying this? How come she's not talking about that? If I was there, I would have said this, you know? Or they come with the mindset of, I'm not going to go to this event because I'm going to get silenced or escorted out and blah, 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 blah. So instead of, you know, mentally defeating yourself, just go there and see what happens. You know, part of the reason why I went there was to see what would happen. Instead of me, you know, just seeing, oh, I seen Brother Rizza Islam and Ben X, and I know what they're talking about, so I know if I go there, I'm going to blah, blah, blah. No, I wanted to see what the energy was. I want to see what they're going to say. I want to see how they're going to react. So I just took it upon myself, you know, to go there and set the record straight and basically not try to put my mission on other people, you know, because it's easy to just stay at home, type on your little computer and say, well, I would have did this or I would have said that. And, well, if you would have, why didn't you? You know, and even if you think these people are sellouts, at least they're in front of the people selling them out. So if you want to correct that, go in front of them, in front of the people, and then correct.
Right.
You know, be a man. Put on your big boy shoes, your big boy socks, drink your big boy juice, and then go in front of your people and be a big boy. You know, not going on the street all day, just type and talk about nothing. You know, if you really know yourself, if you really think you're better, if you really think you can do better, then prove it to the people. Not to some panelists, prove it to the people. So that's the perspective I like to take. You know what I mean? You can't talk nothing about me. Whenever I say something, I do it. And I don't think, well, how come Rizza Islam didn't talk about jurisprudence and law in cases he got dismissed? No, that's Jamal's job. You know what I mean?
Islam.
And then even when you listen to Rizza Islam, he references law, so he knows law. You know, no one disputed anything I said. So that's the truth.
That's another good point. Nobody had anything to say. That's a good point. Oh yeah, and then talking about again, remember after on the ride back or whatever,
Oh yeah. We just it was kind of like an agreed thing. We seen it as an opportunity, um, to get the word out there. It wasn't really like a success or a victory. It's just this is what it was. These panelists, regardless of what you think about them, they can pull people based on their name alone. So we basically agree that it's incumbent upon Moors to be at these events to help reach those Moors who are actually honestly looking for something. Because there are a few people there that are only there because it's the only thing that they got. But deep down inside, they know there's more. So let's at least be there for those people.
Yeah.
Show up a few times, and if they're not there, then they'll go to a different event.
Right.
You know what I mean? But at least be there for the people, because one of the reasons why the Nation of Islam and all these people are so quote unquote successful is because they're in the people's faith.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you're in my faith, I don't got time to search, Rise of the Moors on YouTube. I'm busy dealing with you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we really want to be effective. We have to be at these events. And please be at these events, because it's definitely a mental, not struggle, but it's a mental plight to have to deal with all this black stuff on stage and still remember your Moorish consciousness, because you're literally surrounded by blackness. You know what I mean? So it helps to have other Moors around with the same mindset as you. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that was another. Like, how was that hearing black every 2 seconds? You asked that already, but because that's just bothering me. Like, it bothers me. Like, I'm like,
So
I don't know how he just sat there.
Hey, so you got
let me try to explain that. Like, I was in the military. Right? I was in the military, so I had to deal with bullshit a lot. Like, higher ups.
Yeah.
Basically yelling at your face to the point that they're spitting on you, and you got to sit there with your hands behind your back. You know what I mean? So I know how to deal with a bunch of bullshit. So that's basically how I do it, like my military training. And I knew that if I stooped down to their level of emotional stupidity, that it would have just ended up in an argument, and now the people aren't getting the information that they need.
Yep, and it seems like you said, you knew that as a fact to be that somebody was trying to start something like that by saying black. You said that earlier. See, that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of, they make it seem like they for the redemption of their people, but like you said, you're the only one that had something for redemption for their people on the table. Nobody else had any books, nothing. I didn't see anything.
Yeah. Yeah, that little red thing that was on the table, that's the plastic envelope with the documents from the Library of Congress in it. They are ready for them to take pictures of it, proof that this is what it is. I brought them last time I went to Harlem. This is something you gotta know about people. You can trust them, just not too much. Because I literally said before I handed out the documents, these are from Congress. Please don't bend them. They're binded, stuff like that. I pass them out to the crowd so they can take pictures, because I'm really in this for the people, because I love our people. A few of them came back all back, so that's not part on that. But that's what was on the table with me.
Yeah. But another quick question. Because we're watching on the internet. We're not physically there. But was there anything going on in the audience where somebody was trying to cause confusion? Any Moors type of things going on?
Yes. So when you're looking at the video, the guy all the way to the left in the brown.
Yep.
He's like a regional, he's like a regional minister or whatever. He's like in charge of all of them. There was a sister, her name is Pacola. She spent a few weeks here in Silver Island. She's the one that helped me go to Harlem and teach some of the Moors in Harlem. She asked a question towards the end. Well, she didn't really ask the question. She said, we're Moors. What's up with all this black stuff? And I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not sure if the camera's rolling, but someone was behind all the panelists. And they were saying, don't answer that. And then they cut the mics off. Yeah, then they cut the mics off.
What?
Yeah. Then at the end, the brother to the left. Yeah. At the end, the brother to the left and a bunch of people from the Nation of Islam approached her and was basically trying to tell her she was wrong about us being Moors. And then there was a Moor here, his name is Ellie. He's Haitian. You know, these Haitians, they don't play. He was basically saying, well, where are you from? You know, what landmass are you from? And he was basically saying, you know, I'm from the continent of the blackness of the, you know, what landmass are you from? You know what I mean? And he basically just got upset and walked away. So they definitely tried to play on the minds of the people. They definitely were trying to play on the minds of the people. But like I said, if there was more and more there, that wouldn't have been a problem. You know, because he was always moving with at least 4 or 5 other people from the Nation of Islam with him. So he was always moving in a force. You know what I mean? So that presence, you know, that energy is powerful. So if you're not mentally strong enough to combat that, they're gonna manipulate you. That's how that works. These people know what they're doing.
Oh, they're good. They're real good.
Actually, let me comment on that. They're not that good. You know what I mean? I've been in the military. These people aren't that good. But at the level that our people are at, it appears, it appears that, you know, they do top level security. Nah, if you were at the panel, all the people that were so-called watching the crowd, they were facing the panel, which means we're vulnerable. You're supposed to be watching where we can't see. You know what I mean? If I'm in the crowd of people and I'm looking at the panel, I want the security behind me watching my back, not looking the same direction I'm looking. You know, and then besides that, they're unarmed. So if anyone was to do anything, it would have been a bloodbath.
What they gonna do?
Yeah, they're gonna throw their bow ties at people.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's a circus.
So it looks good, but if you actually if anyone's been in the military, you will see it. That ain't it. You know?
So it's directly from the perspective of appearance, not necessarily application.
Yes. Yeah, it's definitely all appearance. It's colored.
Right.
It's not appearance, it's colored.
Now, do you think a lot of people was on the panel for self-gain?
Yes.
Or, okay, because it didn't seem like anything was for, like, for remedy. It was just people wanted to say their accolades, who they were, who they're in charge of.
The only other one that gave actually something like a reference point was Redfield. He brought up Antikythera Divina, Dumda verses, basically the papal bulls that the popes issued against our people. But other than that, he really didn't say much. So reference points, no one else actually besides me, gave any real reference points to look this thing up, go here, you know, I said things, look up House Resolution, blah, 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 look it up for yourself, and this is what it is.
Right. It makes me lead to, too, because it just seems like, because they all agree, like, they can, okay, yeah, that was my question. I'm going to ask this one. Did you notice, I mean, because you didn't speak a lot, but when you spoke, if you look at the video, all eyes was on you. Everybody on the panel will literally watch what you would say. And it, like, that's why I asked you, did you feel like pressured not to say certain things? Because I'm like, why are they watching them? Like, if he say something out the normal, somebody got to grab the mic and change the subject. You know what Amor told me? Like, as soon as you started talking, I seen bodies shift. You know, people looking around, heads on the panel like they in the audience, watching you talk. You know what I mean? So, like, did you notice? Yeah, like, did you notice that? But you already answered about feeling the pressure, because that was the crazy part in me. You know, them just watching you. And another thing too, you had got up, but they kept speaking. Now, you could have went to the bathroom and whatnot. Okay. Okay, because I know sometimes we can just get tired of something and just be like, you know what, let me just get some water. You know, just because I don't want to be around too much of that. So, you know, it was a lot of, okay.
Because you see me fidgeting around, because it was hot that day. And I had I thought it was going to be inside. So, you know, I had on, you know, a decent button-up shirt, some shoes, some slacks. And we got there at 1. We were supposed to talk until 3, and the event lasted till 7. So we were outside the whole time, just sweating. So I was just pounding water. You know, when you're too high, you get to the point where you just stop sweating because you got no more water. So I didn't want to pass out on stage. So I was pounding water.
That would have went for the Moors.
By the time it started, I had to go. You know what I mean? But one of the Moors told me after the panel, they're threatened by you. Yep. Just because that, you know, that's why they're all looking. Because I'm a threat. You know? Yep. Yep. Not in the threat as in like I'm gonna kill these people. A threat as in like I bring something valid. Yeah, their finances, kill their finances. Yeah. But also it's their credibility and their reputation, which is part of why these are said what he said to bring himself up to my level. Because if you listen to what they said, you compare it to what I said, I'm the only person that was speaking with intelligence to some degree. Everyone else was just emotional. So you can tell that. Same credibility, they have to do that. They have to at least, you know, flash a little three-point cards that they got. Like, yeah, I can do that too sometimes. You know, I know what it is. Sometimes I don't want to see it because it's distraction. So when they all were looking at me, I felt it. But sometimes I get into this mode where like I shut off all my thoughts and just go with the information. Because you know your brain, you know that lower self, those thoughts start to fight you. You know what I mean? So I got into the point where I can just turn that off. I'm here for people. Here's what it is.
Now, another aspect. Now, if there was,
oh, my phone's on 10%. My bad.
Say that 10%.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get this done fast. When I check out this thing, you probably had about what number did you say it was, brother? You said about 10 minutes in the whole thing.
Say again?
It was about
when you put it all together. When you put it all together, like you was up there, but the video was like 3 hours. When you put it all together, you only probably spoke maybe 8 minutes together. The whole 3 hours. Wow. Like I kept trying to find you talk. He would just say something, and I'm like, man, he did. But there's guys up there talking 15, 20 minutes. I'm like, come on, man, let's go. Yeah. You know, like, and that leads me to the other thing. Go ahead. So this is what I noticed. They're speaking on emotion. My Mercury is in Aries, so the way I communicate is very direct and to the point. These people are salesmen and saleswomen, so they have to add grandeur and emotion to what they're saying. I'm telling you, look up House Resolution 25, Act of 2019. Congress admitted that they're destroying families. I don't need to talk about nothing else. You know,
until you look that up.
The situation that we're in is so bad, and if you look up this, and then because sometimes we're not, look it up.
Yeah, everything not to look it up.
Yeah. So that's my approach, and that's probably why I spoke less. You know what I mean? Because I'm not here to sell people more science. I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to help you look stuff up. I'm not here to come to me for everything and donate to my stuff and let me get all this fiat so I can do stuff free while you're still struggling. If what my prophet told me is true, and it is, all living things are bound together by cords to every other living thing. So if these Europeans got their foot on your mother's neck, they got their foot on my mother's neck, and you're dying if you do that. So, in order to avoid violence, let's deal with knowledge and get that boot off of our mother's neck.
Islam.
Right. Like, you know, I know y'all know because y'all been to these events, but for those who don't, if you go to any of these black events, you'll see the loudest and the most passionate person normally has a crowd. The tactful, disciplined, and intelligent person, they don't have a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like in the Quran it says, you know, the bearers of light, you know, a mighty works is theirs, for carnal men want not the light. They love the dark.
Mm-hmm.
So when you shine a light in their face, they'll wait. So they look at you like, "Why are you waking me up?" You know.
Well, give thanks, man. I know your battery's dying.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely be in touch. You got anything to plug before you push up?
Say again?
You have anything to plug?
Oh, just support if you can. RisingMoors.org. We got a bunch of information, books, a bunch of free stuff. You get Black Soul Dictionary PDF if you don't have it. You get the Quran PDF if you don't have it. It's it. Show up to these events. You know, you don't gotta say too much. Just drop some gems. Just show up, because the Nation of Islam is winning by sheer force, by sheer numbers. Our people are gravitating towards that because they're out in front. So we need to really put the Moorish information out in front. And I know it's difficult because I'm not that type of person that's going to be emotional and, we have to do this because of blah, blah, that's their thing. So let's be the better example. We can talk about how great we are all day in private, but if we're not in front of our people's faces, giving them the information, nothing's going to change. Yeah, I just want to put that message out to all the Moors at the game up. Because the enemy's not sleeping. The Dirty Moors ain't sleeping. The Dirty Moors got teams. The Dirty Moor network is so, tight knit that it reached my group. You know what I mean? And stole Moors from my group. Well, not really stole Moors, so those Moors made a choice.
Yeah. But
infiltrated the minds of the Moors out here.
Right.
So if they're able to do that, we need to step our game up. And if the adults keep giving you pushback, speak to the children. Because right before I went to New York, I spoke to a group of about 12, 16-year-olds, and I was giving them this information, and their minds were blown. I was like, "You're not black." They're like, "What?" Looked it up, EtsyMonOnline.com. They're like, "Yo, so what's the point of this crayon stuff?" And I told them it's a legal status, the blah, 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 blah. I told them what night tag, all that stuff, they loved it. When you deal with adults, they want to give you that fight back. Oh, it don't matter what you call yourself. So, reach the children if you can. If you're giving up on the adults. Yeah, that's about it.
It's love,
bro.
He's more stupid. Give thanks, boy. Give thanks. Just laughing at these words in the chat. Just laughing at these words in the chat. Going nuts. Yeah, the more say give thanks in the chat, yo. And keep up the good work. Keep up the good work, and
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll set up something for we'll talk about end of the month. We'll talk about end of the month. See what we can work out. Maybe do a halfway or something.
Yeah.
But we'll set up.
All right, peace.
Peace and love, more. Yeah, brother Yusuf.
Son, green sheet.
You had any timestamps? You had to do that. Or you want to go to some of the other ones from that I sent you?
Oh yeah, we can see. We got a lot to do, man. We can do a lot. We can do a lot.
Let me see. Where's the email? Let me see. Which one? Oh, the affidavit of fraud.
From the European?
No, the one with the paperwork, and when the paperwork didn't work.
Oh yeah.
Just if you can, just build with, while I'm looking for the thing, just build with the Moors about paperwork versus mindset.
And that's the thing. The whole purple paperwork aspect comes from the mindset. If your your mindset isn't thoroughly corrected, you're not even supposed to be thinking about any paperwork. Your whole thing was off because you were stuck on the paper trail chase. They get on this paper trail chase and think that's what it is when they don't even know their whole mentality is still Eurocentric thinking. But you want to do a paper trail chase. You didn't do any mindset changing at all, correcting your mind at all. You left it in the state of mind that it was, and now you're looking for a piece of paper that's going to give you a benefit like a lottery ticket. Like, that's not what's going to work. And now you're going to get in trouble because of yourself, not because of whoever gave you the paperwork. You did that to yourself, being ignorant, not studying, not changing your mindset. Now you stuck in something where you either blaming somebody because of something you got yourself in, or you lost out of $5 grand because you done bought some paperwork that somebody sold you and you didn't even think to think. Nationality is free. Or if I studied on my own, that I can get myself out of situations. But because you think you could just copy and paste and send and it didn't work, now you want to make videos about, oh, this stuff doesn't work, this is fraud, RVB publications doesn't work, the more stuff doesn't work. No, you don't work. Your mindset doesn't work. You were still stuck where you was at. So if your mindset, it doesn't work, the paperwork don't work. Don't put the cart before the horse.
Well, I'm still looking for you.
That's where they kill themselves every time. Not studying. Remind me of what Brother Jamal was saying. Even with the paperwork, which you copy and pasting, is like the lawyer situation when he said, when he heard the word lawyer, that's like another man speaking for him. Mm-hmm. When you copy and paste and work, you let another man speak for you. That's not you. That's not an affidavit. That's not your stuff that you swore that was your stuff. That's somebody else's stuff you copy and pasted. And you have no mindset of what you just said. You sending what to what? You don't even know. Just sending stuff to send it because you thought that was it. Mm-hmm. That didn't read nothing. Didn't read anything at all. Ready to send paperwork, but don't know, like the Grand Sheik say all the time, you ready to do something, but I asked you the prophet's birthday, blank stares. Nobody know nothing. But you ready to do some paperwork, but you don't know the prophet's birthday.
Ready.
Your mindset is just wrong. So now you going around blaming other people because you didn't study. Your mindset wasn't changed. You still had Eurocentric thinking. Ready to rub a genie, thinking a piece of paper was going to save the world. Like that. No. Nope.
All right, Mark. Let me push play on this.
Good afternoon and good evening. Today I'm here in regards to fact findings of fraudulent dealings committed by the Moorish Science Temple of America, RV Bay Publications, Taj Tariq Bay, Sabir Bay, and or any other organizations or committee members that are committing fraud against our honorable spiritual and physical ancestors. The first document of presentation is an affidavit of facts, notarized and sent to the Moorish Science Temple of America at the Baltimore, Maryland location on November the 9th, 2018 via registered mail with the tracking numbers provided. All right. The affidavit of facts clearly states that the respondent has 10 days after the reception of the affidavit to offer a rebuttal, but after 30 days, if no rebuttal is offered in regards to the facts stated, the affidavit then becomes the judgment in commerce. As per the last page of the affidavit, where it says caveat, you'll see it states, lack of written response, no response, acquiescence will be accepted as tacit consent and agreement to all facts stated in this affidavit. So, the next document up is my notice of default, notarized and sent to the Moorish Science Temple of America at the Baltimore, Maryland location, also sent via registered mail, tracking numbers provided. It went in on December the 27th, 2018. Notice to agent is notice to principal.
No. You watching the thing, Brother Yusuf?
Notice to
I
principal.
can do it right now. Yep. I can do it right now.
All right. Yeah, so fraud by MSTA, RV Bay, and fact findings. Could you just illustrate, based on you being somebody who's written writs, what's the problem with this so-called notice that this individual is sending out to whoever making claims of whatever claims that they're making? What are some things that you see discrepancies in?
I mean, well, I can't even see the words. It's a blur.
Yeah, I can't see the words either. All I could see is the top part, but
Right. But I know there's no seal. Notice. Yeah, there's no seal. The bottom. I can't see nothing, Grand Sheet. I can't see nothing.
okay. I can't see nothing either. All I see is notice of default, date, affidavit sent, or whatever. UPS registered mail. Looks like 9 statements or 9 questions. Now I do see in there that the affiant is a Native American. Can Native can Native Americans write writs?
No, no. I don't even know what that is. That's fraud. That's colored. The whole thing is colored. You won't even get it. It doesn't deserve a response back. Nobody would ever write back. That's like a polar bear wrote you a letter. And it say rah, 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 all through the paper. Like that's what it say. like, this is gibberish. Polar bears can't write letters. You know, this is a smart polar bear right here that figured out some penmanship. But no standing in law, no status in law, no. They're not human. They're chattel property. Native American means you was born in the corporate jurisdiction of the United States, which is, there is no landmass. You know, that's just fraud. Now you're a 14th. This is a 14th, 15th Amendment citizen who we just went over, which is fraud, colored. She's still black. She could have just left it as black. She didn't have to say Native American. She could have just stayed black. It's the same thing. But because, again, you didn't study, your mindset was warped. You got somebody to get in your ear, and you didn't fact check anything. Now when somebody goes to correct it, because when you look in the chat, people trying to correct her, she's making it seem like we're warped in some kind of cult thing, like we've been sucked in. And I'm like, yeah. Brother, it's in the dictionary. Like you can just read law books.
No cult stuff. No cult stuff. Just in the dictionary.
It's just like it's not that hard. Native Americans can't write writs. They can't write writs. That's why they just over there water hoses, blowing all that people over there, so-called that over there, in the guise of people. When they start bringing out them water hose things and just spraying people because they trying to build some pipeline and they in the way, that's just material getting blown in the way. Property. You called yourself Native American, Indian, tribe stuff. It's Morocco. This La Amarak, like this guy say for the Nation of Islam. They all know. They all. She just didn't study. This now you're Native, and then that paperwork she got in the form of writing writs. Those so-called Native Americans, where she's learning this from, learned that from Moors. They learned that affidavit, default judgment. All that comes from Moors. Mm-hmm. Native Americans were talking about that.
Yep.
At all.
Went to some Morse classes and then went back and turned to Chief Lightning Bolt.
Yeah.
Prophet Chief Lightning Bolt comes to save the nations with the stuff he learned from a Morse class.
And now you want to use our stuff against us, but say Native American. Like, that's fraud. Colored.
Yeah, stop it.
And then my thing is, they'll try to speak like they have intelligent tone. Like, that's just crazy. It's just crazy. Like, it's special, and you, like, that's just, like, you're special, and you being able to talk with some sense, but you don't. Everything you just wrote was colored. Everything. As soon as you put Native American on it, nothing mattered. Nothing. You did
voided
the whole writ.
Voided the whole writ. Voided the whole writ.
It holds no value now because of that little Native American. I'm like, wait, what? I'm glad because I knew it was something because I couldn't see it when I saw the video.
Yeah.
I said, but I know she did something wrong in her writ. Because
way more than that.
There's no way you can write writs and bash the place who has the best writs. Like the foundation of writs come from the RV Bay University.
Yep, Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs, Moorish Nation Public Records, Moorish News WordPress. That's the foundation of writ writing.
Nobody else. There's no Black Panther writ writing, Kemet writ writing, Aboriginal talkingist writ writing. They didn't know. That's wrong. That's fraud. That's fraud. And always they probably sold her something, and now she's running with it because I bought something. I bought something, so it must be real. Oh, okay. That's the other thing. And Grand Sheik, you post those videos up.
Yeah.
Of the people in so-called Hawaii.
Yeah. Going in.
What I noticed, right? What I noticed is how not only are they very well studying international law, I don't see any videos of people in Hawaii selling packages, saying, "Oh, fill out this form and you can," because they're doing the same thing we do. They're talking the same way we talking.
Yeah, they're talking more language for sure.
But they're not selling no packages. They at events. They showing up where these Europeans is at, telling them like, "Yo, hold on, y'all don't have no jurisdiction. They go to paperwork, start answering these questions." They're not making up fake paperwork that they found from Army Bay publications and fighting other Moors with it. They're taking their writs, going to go fight the colonists. Yeah. Why are you taking Moorish writs that y'all got from Moors? Y'all got these writs from Moors. Why are you taking it? Fighting Moors. The information is to go fight the colonists. Why are you fighting Moors? Because of, I don't even know why. And then the thing is, the way she explained it, like, oh, this is for any Moor that has any affiliation. I'm like, what are you talking about? You don't even know what you're saying.
Wow.
You're supposed to be writing a writ to who, like, in order for a crime to be committed, it must be an injured party. Who hurt you? Who was it that hurt you? You can't be just saying any other. Who's that? That's law specific. Case dismissed. Case dismissed.
Case dismissed.
Plaintiff in error.
Here's another case dismissed right now. 1 second. Let me just pull this one up. Here's another case dismissed right now. This just got sent to me by one of the Moors, studious Moors out there, who just saw something very interesting. Just saw something very interesting.
Hmm.
We're gonna put this on the big screen for him. Put this on the big screen for you. So Riza Islam just posted, Mr. Trump, you're telling others to leave America is very interesting. Seeing how the 1828 Noah Webster's definition of an American is a native of America originally applies to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans. So where is your green card?
What?
Yeah, that was his Instagram post today, July 15th.
Okay.
July 15th, 4:38 p.m. You still think they don't know, huh? You think they're not playing you? Notice in the definition, it doesn't say nothing about no black Americans, so don't let anybody bring that to you. Well, the dictionary said black Americans are copper colored. No, copper colored and black are two different things. So FOH.
Yeah.
Copper colored. Copper colored or Aboriginals. Copper colored. Not black guys. Not black indigenous anything. Just to be clear.
The last sentence of number 9, where
But
it
real quick,
states,
who's giving these guys the green light right now? Because they're talking real crazy.
Yo.
It just seems like somebody gave them, because they can't speak out of turn.
Right.
They got to get, the higher ups have to give them the okay.
Somebody's got to
be able
okay
to speak like that.
Yeah. Somebody's got to okay something. They're talking.
Islam can't just go to, because he said in the video, he went to 60 hoods in 1 week. The Nation of Islam got to make sure that he can do that. Farrakhan and them promote all of that. He's not just doing that on his own. They know what, they promote all of that. They know what he's going to say and what not to say. Somebody gave these people the light for them to just start talking
crazy.
Oh, Donald Trump, where did you get this? Listen, Riza Islam didn't just have an epiphany. It didn't just pop in his head like,
I'm doing some research and I found out about American in Noah Webster's 1928 dictionary that only the Moors use that as a reference. Right. You don't hear nobody else use that as a reference. Only Moors use that. Noah Webster, come on. Nobody else uses it. Saying it just like the way Moors say it. Even to the end, where's your green card? Even to the end, that was the Moor that said that in the video. In the news one, when he was yelling at him, where's their green card?
Yep.
That was a Moor. That wasn't a black guy yelling that. That was a Moor saying that. They're the foreigners. And remember, he's piggybacking off of the panel stuff because he was talking about that in the panel stuff. Talking about Al Moroccan, Turtle Island and stuff like that.
A affiant will pursue further commercial remedy and recourse once the certificate of commercial dishonor is issued. So, on February the 22nd, 2019, a certificate of commercial dishonor was indeed issued via registered mail with the tracking numbers provided, notary stamped and signed, also sent to the Moorish Science Temple of America in Baltimore, Maryland. Well, today's date is now March the 15th, 2019 on the Gregorian time system, and as per expected, none of my documents were rebutted. Further actions will be taken. I will keep you all posted, and Abud Gador.
What's interesting is that these people, like, let's see who these people are. Right, so these type of pages right here, you know that they have agenda. 3 months, one video, they have some agenda. 3 subscribers, oh, they definitely are out here to cause some BS. That's all, nothing else. Clickbait. Why is RV Bay Publications in there if you're not talking about RV Bay? You're talking about Baltimore, Maryland, Moorish Science Temple. Just putting stuff in there just to put stuff in there. So be open. Be open. But don't be a dumbass. Make sure you're studying. Show yourself approved. Don't be relying on anybody. Don't be relying on anyone. Self. So enjoy the panel if you want after, you know, we dissected it a little bit. Peace and love to all the Moors wherever you're at. There's a lot more.
Islam Gracie.
Yeah, more.
Quick question for you.
Yeah.
Because I saw a video earlier, I never sent it to you. But I guess this is be alert. It's this new thing going around with Moors. They're saying they're Moors, but they're Moors who predate Noble Drew Ali. Now, we know that Moors do predate 1913.
Yeah.
But in the video, the disrespect that they're giving, you know what I mean? Like, ask the temple and all of that, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh, you got it. You got it there. Let's pull them up right now. We got some time.
I gotta
It's far.
I gotta figure out how I felt the dude. He was walking on the beach.
Yeah.
With a turban on.
Yeah.
And it was like I think it was called.
Oh, you know what I think that was? That might have been.
Bar Moorish Science Temple.
Yeah. I think that was this man named Noble God or something.
Right.
But yeah, he has the you see the same type of neglect for Moorish Science Temple Pleasant Bay has.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like that, but on a younger vibration.
Oh, okay.
Right, because
the way he was going, I was like, wow.
Yeah, because Moorish Science Temple did people dirty.
Mm-hmm. I feel him.
You know what I mean? Like, he's not, you know, people always think, and this is why, you know, the whole point of calling out the sellouts is to, just like if you're calling out the colonists, you say them by name. You know, I'm going to make a generalized statement about a sellout. You're going to say who it is so people know who it is. They're not guessing. They're not be guessing who the sellout is. If the sellout is detrimental to our liberation.
Yeah. be more clear about that, because now I'm looking, you
right,
know,
because
like, what's going on?
like
You know what I mean?
why is he talking to Evan Steele like that and all that stuff when that's a particular jurisdiction of Morris Science Temple that that individual dealt with, that played them or robbed them or whatever.
Right.
And then they make a generalized statement. They don't stick to the individual or whatever that played them.
They make a lot of generalized statements.
You know what I mean? Like
and they cause confusion.
Yeah, like they go to for example, when like this happened, for example, they go to National Theater at that class, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they met somebody there, and then you know everybody's building or whatever, so building after class, and then they went about their business. That person went about their business, and then they're talking about RV Bay told them something. And that didn't work, or that got me messed up, or that whatever. When RV Bay tell you nothing, you spoke with a specific individual in there. Like, why are you? Well, he was at the class, so he's part of that. No, that's not how that goes. That doesn't go like that.
Exactly. See?
That doesn't go like that.
Now that's insanity. That's crazy.
Right? That definitely doesn't go like that.
A lot.
Straight playing people are playing right now.
I know that to be happening. I know that's happening a lot. I know it is.
Yeah. No. People are not specific. They're vague. And, you know, I get it. You know what I mean? After somebody robbed you, you don't want to be open because they might rob you again of something else or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I get it. But you can't be just throwing everything under the bus just because one person played you and they called themselves Moors. That doesn't mean all Moors did anything to you. FOH.
Yeah.
Don't get mad. Call out whoever played you. Stop playing this you know, generalization crap. Stop generalizing. And we're specific with who we are. We say we're 720 Moors, or we say that we're active Moors, or we say we're studious Moors, or we're not just saying that we're Moors, because we already know. By saying we're Moors only, people are gonna look at us like some other clowns that they dealt with. But we're not those clowns you dealt with. We're a different breed of Moors. Once again, Islam. What is it about a week and a bit now, huh, Brother Yusuf?
Say that again, Gracie?
Say we're winding down. It's gonna be going down.
Yeah.
Almost a week. Almost a week.
You'll be here in 2 seconds.
You'll be here in 2 seconds.
Yep, that's going good. And I'm glad Jamal bring that up too. You know, it's a lot of clicking. You know, we need to do a little bit more. And that's why, you know, I'm glad you coming down here so we can probably, you know, put the fire under the people over here near me.
Right.
You know what I mean? To get them
clicking.
Going in the right direction.
Yep, straight up.
Because another thing too, like Jamal, when he had spoke about his jurisdiction, when he started speaking about the Portuguese and whatnot being over there, when I start now, I don't leave the house. I know more Bicey and my boys, they be killing me about that. But when I leave the house, you know, I have it out. You know, it's been like 3 months, 3-4 months, and I'm like, I'll go to a neighborhood I haven't been around. Now, everything's around the corner. So, and I'll go, like today, you know, after hearing, you know, like so much videos of, you know, we need to support there's only one store that I know of that is owned by a Moorish guy that's, you know, a convenience store. So I traveled all the way over there today, and I haven't traveled in forever over there near that park. I go over there. Now, another thing is there's a tattoo shop over there, because I used to go over there to go to the convenience store where he was at, and it was a whole strip of stores there. The whole thing is closed. Everything was gone. I was like, yo, what happened? And then as I'm going back home, I'm like, where's everything at? Like, it's a lot more things closed. You know, like abandoned. It's a more abandoned houses, and I'm like, okay, where everybody going? Where's everything's closed and houses is going away, businesses is closing, and I'm like, well, okay, let me see where these Europeans is at. There's no Europeans in so-called Springfield. This is like the area where all the Moors are at. Like Europeans don't come here, so it was like when he was speaking like, oh, the Portuguese, and I'm like, dang man, we don't even have that. Like, there's none of that here. It's just Moors, and like, you know, like I don't see that like that went away. It used to be that. It used to be you can go downtown, there's a little Italian area or a little Greek area over there, the so-called Greeks or Irish over here. All of them are gone. They're gone. They don't have that anymore. They left. It's just us here, and it's stuff closing, but we're still here. There's not much here. And I'm like, man, they got Portuguese people out there. I haven't heard that word in a long time. Like, we don't have that stuff here. Like, nope. It's just more. That's why when you come here, Grand Sheik, that's why I want you to see how much the sellout is here, because there's no Europeans here. So how are we getting it? There's no Europeans even here. It's like, you know, like, even with that, some, you know, of course they're the highwaymen, but when the highwaymen Europeans take you downtown, it's Moors. All of them. Everybody, the captains are Moor, the people, the CEOs, everybody's in here is Moors. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? Like, and all of you guys know. So, like, it's going to be very interesting when you get here. I'm glad you're coming. I'm glad you're coming. It's going to cause, you know, because everybody know who Canaanland Moors is. Everybody knows who Canaanland Moors is. Everybody. There's no other platform going as long, like, because, you know, you got the longevity, too. You can go on for years, man. You know, there's new Moors that came in that got some good information, like Brother Jamal. You know, we got new information, but you got longevity. You've been doing it for years. So everybody's going to know who, you know, when you come down here, Canaanland Moors, Grand Sheik, Cujo, Adewell, they all know. They all know. So it's going to be a good turnout. You know, couple of Moors from other jurisdictions is coming down to see. You already know. So we going to be good. But that's the thing, too. I'm glad Jamal, like he said, he was just tired of people saying, oh, if I was there, I would have said this. If I was there, I would have said that. Another thing is, too, we don't need to be going to them events. Like, we should just have our own stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? And those who want to know, come to the Moors event. He just gave us a perfect example showing, like, okay, I had the paperwork. I had everything. Some people don't want to know the truth. Yeah. They don't want to know. So let's have our own thing where we know if it's Moors is the heading, only people going to come who wants to be into that zone. Let's not waste time with that, because all they trying to do is start trouble. We learned that. Brother Jamal saying, oh, I know that for a fact. They kept saying black to try to start trouble. Like, what is that? Yeah. What are we doing?
So instigating something.
And it's not, oh, Moors want to be separate. No, it's energy. You know how they always say you don't want to be around bad energy. I don't want to be around bad energy. It's not about, oh, separate. You can control who you be around. If you want good things to happen, you're going to be around good people. You know, if you want negativity in your life, you're going to be around negative people. That's what it is. Those people want to stay where they're at. They just, and I'm like Jamal said, people, if you never been to one of those events, go check it out. Go look at it for yourself. You'll see. And I knew exactly what he was talking about when he said that. You're there as a Moor, and you're thinking, like, people are going to be like, okay, there he is right there. He should be. No, none of that's happening. None of that's happening. None of that happened. They don't come rushing full blown oh, there goes the Moor, there goes the Moor. And none of that, matter of fact, like, it's always something on the outskirts that happens. You know, like Jamal said, oh, I was walking around so-called New York and somebody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the event. You know, something outside home. You know, you got to build with, and it was more interesting. You told them more things than you told at the damn lecture.
Yeah.
Now that's crazy. That's this, and that's what it's frustrating, but it gives me clarity at the same time. You know, like like Ty said, Ty's already knew years ago. I advise you to take your cat and go in the house because they're gonna harm you. you take your cat and go in the house because they're gonna harm you, and that's exactly what's going on. And we already, Grand Sheik just read Islam's little blog or whatever. That's an agenda. That's not for the uplifting of fallen humanity. There's an agenda behind that. It's always and we looking at it, Ben X and with Islam, that's the young mascots for the Nation of Islam to target the young crowd to keep them interested into that. And they know that the crowds, like they know the ethers are shifting. The Moorish knowledge is where everything is at. To keep the people interested, you have to speak with the Moorish knowledge. But for them to go on and say, "Oh, we must proclaim our nationality as Moorish," no, they're not saying that. They're not going to say that. They're not going to say that. But they'll play the fiddling game. Oh, according to Donald Trump, according to the dictionary, y'all playing games. Moorish been saying that since the 90s.
Right.
Been saying that.
Yeah.
Been saying that. They know you just found that out. It's in the 18th century Webster Dictionary. It's been out. It's been out. It's been out. That's not new. You been knew that. They all. And my thing too, I wanted to ask Jamal. Like, I know Brother Ben X spoke on Noble Drew Ali quickly, but did he see like it was still some type of issue? Because I felt like he didn't want to address the fact that we were more. They all got this. It's like a psychiatrist pastor talk to him. Like it's just. I'm like, what is that? Like, you guys know how to suck the people in and keep them interested, like a pastor, but using their, us suffering as a people as you can keep them, focused on you.
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting too that you say psychiatrist pastor, because on the second day Umar was talking.
Look at this. Oh my goodness. That's what he said. Oh, that's what they said too. It's really going to be good Sunday. Yeah, all right. Because Pastor Umar was coming. Now it's really about to get good on Sunday. Oh, okay.
Really, really good.
That's the video we want to watch. We want to see the really good video. We want to see that one.
Yeah.
It's going to be black. We thought they said black a lot Saturday the other day. Watch when we get the Umar video. It's going to be a black pride parade when he comes on. He's talking about, what's his name? Frederick Douglass's great nephew or whatever, grandson. Lion.
Right.
It's really interesting how this all works. And I know I'm off subject right now real quick too, because it just hit me. That's why I'm mad, Grand Sheik. Jamal had got off the line because I wanted you and him to both hear it. I was sitting here listening to y'all both talk, and I was just like, man, like I'm just happy to be like right here. You know what I mean? Like people don't know, like this is a very important moment in our lives, and I'm just happy to be like sitting here and listening to y'all talk. Like that made me very happy. I'm like, yo, I'm the luckiest more in the world, man. Listening to look, you know, because people are missing this. You know what I mean? Don't even know that this is mentioning and struggling, thinking, you know, the white man, and I'm literally thinking that's really what's going on. And I'm sitting there like, you know, it's a great time to be a Moor. You know what I mean? Like I can literally sit there and felt it. Like, yo, dang man, I'm very lucky. You know what I mean? Like, because these are two powerful men right here that I'm sitting and listening to right here talk. They're very powerful men. You know, like, you know how Europeans, how they look at their scholars and they be like, well, according to such and such, that's who you guys are.
Yeah.
You know, we don't really look at that like that because we talk to you, you know, we can call you, but you really are that. We don't get that. Like, you guys gave us life-changing information, not just, oh, make you feel good. No, I'm talking about life-changing facts. You know what I mean? Saving people's homes, saving people's marriages and stuff like that. Because, I wasn't, you know, only reason why this is going on is because we're on the threat to rest and corrosion. I don't got my own culture. I don't know what's right. I didn't know that this was supposed to be like this. That's why I'm going left. I'm supposed to be going right. And because I have my birthright. And I sat there and I was just like, man, look at this. People, we take this for granted. You know, we go about our business during the day. But it really hit me earlier. I was like, yo, look. Got Jamal and the Green Sheik on the line together. And people are missing the point. You think that panel was something, like that wasn't nothing. The real thing was just now what we had.
Yeah.
Y'all two on there discussing the remedies especially when you asked the fact, well, what was the information you had? Like, now let's get it out there. You know what I mean? Like that, because he wasn't able to get it out there, but now you can come on the Moorish platform and get it out there.
Yep, the platform.
If it wasn't a Moorish platform,
yeah.
That's not occurring. You know what I mean? It would have just been, like you said, the red folder on the table, just with paper in there.
Yeah.
It would have never been discussed about what was in that red folder. And then life-changing remedies was in the red folder. You know what I mean? And if you were Negro, colored, black, you missed it. You missed it. Because you want to take pictures, like Jamal said.
Yeah.
You here to take pictures and to buy merchandise and stuff. I wasn't here for none of that. The flyer said remedy. Everybody's here with merchandise. I said, okay. And it's 2019, then we still going through this problem, man. 2019, we still doing this. Same thing. Still. I almost want to make videos apologizing to the youth. I think about that sometimes. Like, I don't want y'all to get older and be like, nah, the old heads back in the day didn't do anything. And I want to make videos showing like, yo, look, listen, it wasn't like that. You know what I mean? Apologizing, like, we tried. The sellout was very real.
Very real.
They make it seem like they were for the children. They never were for you. Never was.
Islam.
Grand Sheik. I use the floor.
Islam, more. Peace and love to all the Moors worldwide. You already know. It's all love. Give thanks for the time. Don't forget canaanlandguide at gmail.com. Any questions, just email them out. And again, peace to the rise of the Moors, all the Moors out there near Rhode Island. Don't forget, we'll be doing Springfield, Massachusetts next week. about to be on. You can get the information, Yusuf L 720 at gmail.com. All the music, willofalah.com. Pick up a book, rvbaypublications.com, khalifamedia.com. Go get some free stuff, morrisdirectory.com. There's just free stuff on there. You want to know about Morris, just go on there and get free stuff. Just because. It's there. Study, study, study. Don't give up the fight, no matter how crazy it looks. Don't give up the fight. Any closeouts, Brother Yusuf?
Yes. Give thanks and honor to the Prophet. Give thanks for your platform, Grant Sheik. Give thanks to the Moors in the chat. You know, and honor to Jamal Bay for coming on Canaanland Moore's platform today and letting us know what really went on that panel with the so-called we got change for the people and stuff. So I honor to him for, you know, letting us know the real scoop for what happened with that. And like the Grand Sheik said, the 27th of July, this month coming up, 16 Acres Library, Springfield, Massachusetts. 16 Acres Library again from 12 to 2:30. Grand Sheik, Cujo going to be there. Ask a Grand Sheik. Ask all the questions you want. It's going to be a good turnout. It's going to be a real good one. It's going to be a real good one. It's long. It's long to all the Moors. Give thanks, Grand Sheik, once again.
Give thanks, Moore. Islam Moors. It's been a while since we did one of these ones, so we'll close out with something.
So many sisters missing, and our brothers in prison. It appears all our fears are from a mental condition. Little brother sagging, thinking that they bad men. But when police come, I see they no longer bad men. Mothers are stressed, wives felt left. Fathers feel no responsibility because she was just sex. She was just this punching bag, he was just a check. For him, she has lost almost all respect. Now she's swirling, trying to find a king whose step-granddad calls her a niggerish thing. But only behind doors closed. Men are now the hoes, surrounded by the homies, wearing the tightest clothes, dyeing their hair, doing their nails. She sanctions behavior to pay rent, sleeping with the next door neighbor. To buy food, she's tripping, his life her workstation. Caught up in the cycle like untied shoelaces. Time to see your faults honestly and time to correct. No time for BS arguments and disrespect. Stop buying so much funding. The beast are complaining about abuse you receive. That's what you get for paying. Those outside your nation whose finances circulating among themselves, so much no simulation. It's reality. Why are we the only casualties of human trafficking and police brutalities? Still paying for so much prayers, they still go wrong. Everyone sold their souls and singing decency songs. Chinese recruit for CBA, not NBA arenas. Too much racism. Act Marbury and Gilbert arenas. Perspective needs to broaden before autumn. Always looking outside for Christ, thinking so foreign. Take caution. That's not a man but a goblin. Selling lace dispensary weed, throwing up your organs. Get
Yeah. We always seek that higher knowledge. Only the ignorant can't relate. We just kill them with love instead of hate. That's what it's about.
We are Moors.
Shout out to the Grand Sheikh, Cujo L, Iron Sheik.
We are Moors. Heard what I said? Circle 7 snap back, not just affairs. We are Moors. You heard what I said? Blue, white, green flags, not just red. We are Moors. Heard what I said? He talking reckless and hoopties for your head. We are Moors. You heard what I said? The slave name crest might have a Moor head. We are Moors. 20 Moors rocking, you could call them Moroccans. Racefield West, bad depths, let's get it poppin'. Got a problem with my sheep? Got a problem with me? I be on the front line rolling 23 deep. I be studying for hours, 7 days a week, working on my higher self, cause the devil don't sleep. Big up the Cujo L, that's the Iron Sheik. 7's up, facing the east, praising Allah. Astrology, cosmology, that's the real law. I slow roast ya, master the flame like Zoe Roaster. The rise of the new Moors, old heads move over. That Kundalini energy rising up like a cobra. This is training day, mount up with real soldiers. Elevate beyond the hate and claim your lost estate. The only reason you hate is you too blind to relate. The only reason you hate is you too blind to relate. We are Moors. Heard what I said? Circle 7 snap back, not just affairs. We are Moors. You heard what I said? I don't rock a hat, just a turban, no affairs. We are Moors. Heard what I said? Keep talking reckless and hoopties for your head. We are Moors. You heard what I said? Your slave name crest might have a Moor head. Stop talking crazy. You can't be everything but Moors. That's like willing to stay minority and not mature. Therefore, Tashri Gay taught the world don't respect y'all. However, since you wanna be it, you go down when they fall. They, the ones you call government, that's really a corpse. Black man means funeral director. Should make sense, of course. Music is the food, and the message, the medicine. Humble food is poison. I'm with the golden era veterans, like Mark D. Condolences, QB, RIP Prodigy, who studied the history of the Moors and etymology. You missed the Corsica headband, disguised as a bandana. Moorish MC, the real Moroccan, not a French Montana. Kendrick Lamar, you Sarah, trust me, Hebrew's a language. Lupe put more in this video, made the point vantage. Yassine Bey knows Sabir, Bey knows Moorish Master MC. Proof on Bay and Daddy IU earned some Moorish degrees. Sprague and Juno, they even killed Peter because of Macintosh. Still visit digable planets, hip-hop astronauts. Milky Way flow, rays of tassels, blind unbelievers. To higher than other senses, to still pick up the frequency. Pick your addiction, truth will still make itself known. To go platinum now, you gotta give up more plus your soul. Lost Professor built pyramids, I watch Dream Jam steady. Cause Nori said you are me on a track, so call me petty. Also, more exec produced the War Report album. Aboriginal Super Cat taught me how to hang and scalp them. Operation Lockdown, video feathers like a sailor do. Initiate invasions, activate at doors every spook. We are Moors. Heard what I said? Circle 7 snap back, not just affairs. We are Moors. You heard what I said? Blue, white, green fairs, not just red. We are Moors. When Moors got expelled by Isabella and Ferdy, it was under paper bowls with the Christian clergy. Islam versus infidels, if you let us tell it. High priest of Anu took the knowledge from Kemet. Did everything a master should do for a serf. It was when they saw maps, fought to conquer earth. All Moors not expelled were imprisoned or converts. Around today, unconscious, I guess their plan worked. They worked to set up and plant contraband on me. started saying I'm a more and most abandoned me. Like true Moriscos, they even telling their colonial laws the stories about how slave ships brought us to these shores. Lions say Moors were navigating those ships of the white man, when at the same time we were pirates, kidnapping and getting silver ransoms paid quick. Columbus navigators were pulled from Inquisition crypts. Why? They were the ones with knowledge. Every question they answer. Popes didn't like the Moorish Knights, taught the Templars in the same dungeons like a Robin Hood movie. Even Black Knight with Martin wasn't just a movie. They hide their history in their books and films, but you don't see it. Reclaim your land under Moorish status, but you won't be it. Most think they're Christians, but they really deists, and have no hopes to give about a European Jesus. They know about the holy books coming from Egypt. The Smithsonian's dumping in the Atlantic Oceans, keeping secrets. Lies ceases when the truth's revealed. That's not a European pyramid on the Great Seal. And the eagle with the wings stretched, that's a phoenix. And the monument for Washington, I saw his penis. A large genius designed Columbus District, kept Benjamin, but Franklin and Banneker, they did a quick flip. The nature diabolical but superb, made you abandon your old ancestral state for the new world. The nature diabolical but superb, made you abandon your old ancestral state for the new world. The nature diabolical.
When you go, here we go again. Wondering if we'll ever win. When you go, I can't help wondering, even though it's a long way down.
Rep for the nation, no matter the risk. Not hearing one conscious black with the service from lips. I'm repping my national flag, FOH road spray. Civil of the more tooth gets respect or honor no way. On the high road, M talk of beat stateless, say kill cracker. But when he gives you tape gifts, hypocrisy at height, stand on your hypocrite oaths. No matter how hard you try, you get the opposite of growth. While you lift glasses, we pour libations to toast. We are not the wandering souls, Moorish is our guidepost.
Just know it feels right.
Think they up, but they really. 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 Think they up, but they really.
When you go, here we go again. Wondering if we'll ever win. When you go, I can't help wondering, even though it's a long way down.
Rep for the nation, no matter the risk. 100 Fahrenheit or minus 40 degrees brisk. Down for the cause and the effect of man liberation, which is raising consciousness, not playing station, not being passive, as almost are active. My throat and crown chakras past peak, stay overactive. Climbing Jacob's ladder under divine mind's guidance. The downfall has no end, no landing, just silence. Lower self-cravings when you overcome limits. Contact the inner standings in harmony with spirits.
Just know it feels right.
Think they up, but they really. 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 Think they up, but they really.
It's a long way down.
And conscious means that you're conscious of what's going on in this world. You're fully aware and awake to what's going on in this world. That's what conscious rap means. So if you got conscious rap, that means you got unconscious rap. That means you got motherfuckers that's unconscious rapping. That means they sleeping. They still under the spell of Leviathan. They still under the spell of Kingdom.
Call me brother man, I'm not the rubber man, though I keep my Nazis in affairs wrapped with some rubber bands. Bunning out the Ku Klux Klan and Wizard Grand Dairy Queen misters. Just butts of guns I'm giving, trying to make more sovereign citizens. These minions help kill your prophet, stole your treasury millions. You heard it from your brother man, not a smother sellout. Seth links in K2 Kush days, keep me read out. I got the knowledge to make these silly hoes question the pimping directors of music videos. Gaylords and verses with strap-on boots with heels. Too much graphic art faces, boobs are not real. Since MCM and Troop, they use Timberland boots to get us all caught up in fashion, not the simple men roots. Got our people on dogmatic, not metaphysic. Exoteric, not esoteric is how you missed it. So out of it you couldn't feel the natural mystic blowing through the air like it didn't give a shit. I hear the dirty Moors dissing, cause I said profanities. A lot of these grand sheets need to take off the panties. Pull the thong out your crack vest wearing sash ass nigga. Return to where the prophet found you, Negro ass nigga.
It's time to choose a side. You either positive or you negative. You either evil or you good. You understand what I'm saying? Choose a side, nigga. I know what side I'm on.
I threw a Molotov at the priest that works for the beast. All they want is our people to rest in peace. No attention of allowing more stress to ease. Cracker won't go home to spread himself the disease. Genocidal epidemic kill us in high proportions. Instead of mummified, we stay boxed in coffins. Mayors attend funerals for PR purposes. Where's the police escort? He replied with nervousness. He said, I don't have those numbers or connections to have Metro Police lead your friend's funeral procession. That's coming from Mr. Mayor, black community player, no question. In the hoods dropping off boxes of weapons, then blame black on black crime or natural causes. Plus those doctors aren't on point but off a bit. Natural mystics prove they're not holistic. Hypocrite oaths make your children autistic.
I'm at the point now where I'm saying I'm tired of mixing the medicine with the food. I'm tired of playing that game. Now I'm shoving straight medicine down your fucking throat, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Straight doses of medicine and getting shoved down your throat. I don't give a fuck if it turns you off or not. Because if it do turn you off, then you're a stupid, ignorant motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Don't judge like a cover of your favorite book. Visit you in your dreams, hand with the hook. Paralysis overtook. So shook, stop, look, listen with precision. MC on a mission, vision. Past senses and endless. Cypher with active Moors, beat you with facts senseless. Have your mind defenseless when the truth enters. I flow. Reminds me of Omar Bay, Algonquin embers. Tap your pioneer like what's a man remembers. All the lies told to your mind dismembered. Circle broken into quadrants, you the seven in the center. Compass G between the square. Baphomet of Templars. Warlock, call on my witch mothers to maim them. The same wise spirits burned at stakes in Salem. Torture with vagina pair, survive, bobbing for apples. Contort thumb slide, wrist out, tight shackles. Yes, y'allin', discard them like blunt trash. Active more Avengers, call that a hog smash. Your conscious coon sniffling booze and role models. Won't accept facts and just quarrel. No 5 principles, of course, no profit. Facebook and YouTube names they won't have on the docket. They say go fund me, and when you go fund them and get robbed, I say I told you, don't fund them. Still won't listen and call yourself deaf. While most say middle, my path is right hand or left. Some say your cult and think we worship Baphomet. We just Sufis with shrines for Muhammad. Offerings of fruit for oil and Oshun. If that won't work, we call in some Shangoons. Summon demons at the full blood and new moons. Mirror steel blade only escaped by a few coons. And those that escaped are on the run and stay running. Falling off the London Bridge or jumping.
Nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors.
nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors.
nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors.
nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors. We studied from the masters, we know that's all we loaded. From Moorish Empire books to hip-hop decoded. Before modern decoders, we studied A.A. Rashid, Conscious Kent Hemet, Beza, Lehman, Akeem. Moore's border up the table round like Common had soul. We got degrees by the pound, stay uplifting humanity. We got Moors near Japan and lands nether, and even Afghanistan. On every Atlantis island, Moors you find them repping Moorish nation, not Turtle Island, when it's really a continent. Anybody saying Drew Ali's a myth incompetent. Claiming black and Indian nonsense, then begging active Moors to help you out your consequence. We still lend a hand, our first principle love. Realize, not a hand, just a stick in a glove.